What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with another Grixis deck, featuring a couple of Praetors, Phyrexian Praetors, and it's been doing some things for me. Putting some finishing touches on the mana base finally feels good. So I had like about 3 wins now in testing, and that's made me confident enough to hit record and show you guys this deck. So without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. Calling it Rowan's Praetors, and that is of course because we've got Rowan and Will, the dual-sided planeswalker from Strixhaven, and some Praetors. It's Urabrask and Jin-Gitaxias in these colors that we got access to, and together form a pretty nice little tag team. A little bit of soft lock. You know, everything the opponent casts gets countered. Instant sorceries or artifacts. And they only get to exile a card off the top of their library at the beginning of their turn. They don't get to draw again. So together, both on board, can be very annoying for the opponent, but it's not, you know, a total lock or a full-on win con. That's why there's only a couple of them in the deck, and the rest is just, you know, some pretty sweet spells. So, I'll take it from the top, describe the deck for you guys from left to right, as I always do. I'll explain to you why it is that I picked the cards, how it is that they synergize with the other cards in the deck, if at all, and what some of the various play lines and interactions might be. Then we'll jump into some gameplay footage. Hopefully I'll get to show off as many of those playlines and interactions for you guys against some opponents on the Mythic ladder. And yeah, then we'll jump back in at the end with my final thoughts, overall deck review, and if we make any adjustments along the way, then that's usually when I like to talk about them, so stick around. We've got Bloodchief's Thirst. Of course. Don't need to say anything more about that. Strangle, new card from New Capenna. Just a little bit of extra oomph on my 1 mana red spell, rather than just going for the play with fires and things. In this deck, I think it's been better than that, because I have no reason why to run play with fire. I don't need a cantrip and Arcane Bombardment or anything like that. Sure, going face is nice, but also doing 3 damage for 1 mana is pretty nice. So, going with Strangle, let's see how it performs. Then wrapping up the 1-drops here with these X spells, we've got 1 March of Swirling Mist, can be used on opponent's creatures, and might be what we need to just get through for some final damage with our guys, you know, do it on their end step. You can, of course, copy everything that you cast with Jin-Gitaxias, so, you know, remember that. Most importantly, with March of Wretched Sorrow, you can, like, double target things and gain a bunch of life and just put all your mana into it. Really nice. But then with March of Swirling Mist, it's the other way around, where you can put less mana into it and bounce more things. Pardon me. So pretty nice. Like if there's 4 creatures the opponent has, you could pay 2 and an X, and with Jin-Gitaxias on board, you'd be able to phase out all 4 of them. Really cool. Then Infernal Grasp. Just needed some more removal. That's instant speed, also to deal with you know, creature lands, mostly that sort of stuff that we can't really deal with at sorcery speed, which most of our removal is in. We do have some of these marches, but just a couple Infernal Grasps. Nice. Then our card filtering. We've got Expressive Iteration and Big Score. Between these two, we're drawing enough cards. I feel it's enough. Of course, this card is absolutely busted. It was so busted it needed to get banned in Pioneer and Explorer recently. So yeah, it's a thing. It's going to help us make our land drops, find our important combo pieces, etc., etc. Then I'm just stuck in a 1 of Sneaky Galvanic, which means we can play it twice. we kind of trying to copy our spells with Jin more than Galvanic. Otherwise, I would have just cut the Phyrexians, but I wanted this to be like Phyrexian tribal, and so I'm just going with 1 Galvanic. We might need it to, you know, just copy a Strangle sometime in the early game or something as simple as that. But then if you're lucky, you get to snag like a, you know, double Invoke Despair or a double Invoke Calamity or double Invoke the Winds or something, you know, some point in the late game, or even just a double Maestros Charm and doing the 3 life gain, 3 life loss to the opponent mode. You know, getting 6 and giving 6 can win games, you know, sometimes. So pretty nice. Little sneaky one-off. Then, don't forget, of course, that if you cast it, and you've got plenty of mana open in this example, and you've got Jin-Gitaxias, of course, Jin-Gitaxias will copy your first one, and then you can cast the second one, and then cast Invoke Despair or something. Obscene amounts of janky stuff that you can do with Galvanic and Jin-Gitaxias in a deck like this. Then we needed a sweeper, so of course Meathook Massacre makes the cut. It's still just the best sweeper in the format. We may maybe just go to like a 3 of and put in 1 copy of Burn Down the House or something like that. But for now it's been okay. The reason why I say that is because, you know, needing potentially a way to deal with Obnixilis, but we do have plenty of other ways that we can deal with Planeswalkers, so it's been okay. Then, Rowan and Will. Instant and sorceries cost 1 less to cast. Both sides do that. The red side, pretty cool. It's another way of copying things, right? And you can get there pretty quickly. You know, it starts with 2 loyalty. You need to get it to 5, let's say, if you want it to survive. But usually you don't really care about this sitting on the board too much. Sure, the reduction of your spells is nice, but if you can just plus this twice and then just minus straight away and it disappears and you get the emblem, do it. Because then for the rest of the game, you get to pay 2 mana and copy anything that you cast. So alongside the Jin and the Galvanic, it starts to get really loopy. I've done some mad stuff in some turns. So try and get that emblem off if you can. And then occasionally in the late game, you play a Will instead, and just -3, draw 2 cards is great. And, you know, if you're in some weird creature matchup, that +1 can be pretty nice as well. So yeah. That was my decisioning behind Rowan and Will. Then we've got Maestros Charm. It's 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. I've already touched upon the second mode there with the gain and drain. And then, well, we occasionally use the first mode if we really desperately need to find a specific card. Because we do have some graveyard interaction, namely just the Invoke Calamity. If we put some stuff in the graveyard with Maestros Charm that we're not too happy to, but we had to do that because we'd rather put the thing in our hand that we did pick to go in our hand, even over the, you know, discarding those things, then at least we can potentially get them back with Invoke Calamity. Something like, you know, a Strangle or an Infernal Grasp or another Expressive Iteration. You can just discard away. Then, big score, fix our mana a little bit, because it is, of course, quite wonky with the 3, you know, color mana bases. This, in previous versions of a deck similar to this that I've played, this was, of course, the old one, Unexpected Windfall, but now this just makes it so much easier to cast it with just the 1 red pip, and helping us ramp into our late game stuff. Then I've just gone for 1 of each of the invokes, little spicy 1-ofs, and 2 each of the Phyrexians. And that's the deck. As far as the mana base goes, we got 1 hall, 1 hive, 1 den. That's creatures, done. Then we've got, beg your pardon, just trying to make some more space here. Xander's Lounge, you know, as far as like multiple colored lands, I've gone for this weird, this is how I've decided to do it, right? Sorry for the confusing thing, but I feel like I need to make this clear. As you can see, the duels that are in black and blue, there's only 1 of each. The duels in red and blue are 2 of each, and then the black and red ones are 3 of each. My reasoning behind that is because we have a higher percentage of black and red spells and a lower percentage of blue and black spells. And then we've also got the Xander's Lounge and the Big Score Treasures to help us fix our mana. This is about as good as I've been able to get it so far in a 3-color deck like this. If we had been, you know, leaning maybe more heavily on only Invoke Despairs and no Invoke Calamity, no Invoke the Winds, I might have done things slightly differently. But because we've got, you know, 3 of these spells that have the 4 colors, this has been doing really good. And then we've got one Field of Ruin as well, just to deal with opponents' creature lands. And that is the deck. Let's jump into some games. Kind of Grixis control. I'm really hoping that we get that standard 2023 play queue in the next, you know, maybe in a month or so. It would be really nice. Sure. Nice. Might get Vanishing Burst. Pardon me.
Let's see how many volts you can take.
Mastro Pipino. Yep. This is one of the reasons why I would love to have that standard 2023 play queue, because we would see what it would be like to live in a world without Vanishing Burst. I do feel like Void Rend is going to come to the forefront at that point, but what can you do? Probably some Wandering Emperors going on. This is going to be a terrible match. I got a bad feeling. Not my favorite matchup. Anyone who plays Vanishing Burst is not my friend. See why I hardly ever use that option. Ugh. Crying out loud. Just flooding lately, like, I mean, bricking. Take my Galvanic. That's pretty cheeky. It's fairly certain there's another Vanishing Verse in this deck. Just not getting any luck. Fairly certain there's a... Okay, maybe there isn't Wandering Emperor. I mean, artifacts? That's one way of doing it. You do lose your Smith. This is insane. I guess I did throw away a lot of lands. I should not have done those Maestros Charms. Those were huge misplays. In retrospect, I would never do that again. But we live and we learn. So definitely vehicles, Orzhov vehicles. Skadoosh. Yeah, that's something. More black for the Invoke Despair. This thing's gonna be huge, right? 6/6. I don't know if to... No, whatever. Goes back to hand, which is quite terrible, but if we get Jin down, it gets counted. Oh. Because it's an artifact. Jin coming down next turn might be really good. I can crew it though, just by using the mech hanger. I don't know how we get rid of this thing in our deck. I guess if it ever attacks and we have Infernal Grasp in hand, something to that effect. This is a disaster. Okay. Pretty nice. Wouldn't you say? I was just thinking to myself, if we hadn't have gotten the win there, it still would have been fine. March of Swirling Mist. Yeah, we would have been fine. Very nice. Took a little while to get our lands. We didn't get a single Deadly Dispute, so they didn't fix our mana properly. Bricking pretty hard in the beginning. Did some stupid misplays with the our charms there. Should not have used them in that way. Don't use them that way unless you really have to. I would recommend only using the other two modes. And we still managed to eke out the victory, so pretty happy. Boros. Okay. Let's see. Okay, never mind. Ooh. Jeskai, huh? Interesting. Is it gonna be the what's his name? Goldspan Dragon. Show of confidence, or is it just Hinata? Yeah. Have to try. It's gonna have the counter. Has to. Yeah. You have to try though. Red sauce would be nice. Imagine he's got another make disappear now. Of course. These are terrible people. Goldspan Dragon players are terrible people. Why? It's time to concede the match, baby. Yeah, do. Yep. The only thing left to do is this. Oh! Whew. Maybe he didn't draw another counter and we can invoke Calamity. Would be pretty sweet. Four plus 4 is 8. Still not dead. But we're dead next turn. Yay. Just, yeah. Gross. Gross. He didn't have the red sauce. Hee hee. And that's game. Watch, she's even gonna have a counter spell for this. Goldspan Dragon, ladies and gentlemen. Cannot wait for that card to leave. It's so disgusting. It's been a while though, as well. It just feels like gonna be one of those that I feel like a lot of people are gonna breathe a sigh of relief when it leaves the format. Just completely dominated the last set championship with that stupid Jeskai Storm deck. Just like Boros. The deck upon which Infernal Grasp is the worst possible removal. It's dealing more damage to yourself. Oof. Darn it. Oof. It's going to be a juicy Meathook. I think we're good. Turning the corner here on the Mr. And we've got the Field of Ruin for the Den of the Bugbear. Of course. Just as I was gearing up for a double big score. Sorry, buddy. Meathook Massacre. Mwah. Oh, I've played this guy loads of times. I recognize the name. Let's go with black. Got a Strangle. Oh wow, full on Wars of Control. These are probably Doom Scars. It's not terrible for us. It'd be quite difficult for him to get rid of our Praetors. Otherwise, we'll just have to rely on, I don't know, Feature lands. Now the big score is nice. Wow. Wowee. Ah, the lands are flooding. Now we just have answers, mate. Bring it on. Oh, wow. This is bollocks. The one thing we don't have an answer to. How do we deal with this? It's an artifact. We don't. He may have Vanishing Verse, yeah. It was worth a try. Oh, lol. I think we can just start having a little bit of fun with the guy and steal that. Gonna kill his own thing. Okay. Lol. These might even not be Doomscars. Might actually be the Angel Maker thingies. Woohoo! Gotta try. Thanks for the card draw, man. That's epic. Can't have another Vanishing Verse, man. Okay, okay.
makes potent.
Practice makes potent.
The Prismari teach some good moves.
Also pretty nice. I'm okay with that.
Perhaps I need to study more.
That's a great top deck. I'll take that. Meathook, the Meathook man. They called him the Meathook man. Oh lord. Oh lordy lord. Spend all that mana bringing one back and I'm just gonna Maestros Charm it. Versus whew. Yeah. Let's draw some cards instead.
I could do with a quick sparring match. I have learned so much today.
Wow. That's a problem. But all these things we can't really deal with, unfortunately.
You need to sit this one out.
That's a big problem. Okay.
You just stay there.
Oh, baby. That's the Cigar de Splendor out of here. Triple Invoke Despair. We're down to 10 cards though. Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Down to 7 cards. Oof. How are we gonna get him down to 0 life? I have no idea. Okay. That's one way of doing it. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Just take a moment and cool off.
Woo! First Doomscar gets counted. Second Doomscar goes through. Unbelievable. What have we still got left in the deck? Huh. One Infernal Grasp and some lands. Ah. What does the -7 here do? Yes! The grindiest of grindies outgrinded the grindathon. That was epic. And we have arrived at the 45-minute mark. So we are going to have to just leave it at that. But ending on a win is always a good thing in my book. What a match. Pfft, what a match. Never give up, never surrender. I mean, he could have waited. I wouldn't have conceded if I was him. Like, I needed to attack 2 more times with the cave. Oh, sorry, the black creature land. You could have drawn some removal for that, and then I would have just been screwed. But hey, not a bad run. What do you think? Rowan's Praetors. Pretty sweet little Grixis deck. I really enjoy doing those copying shenanigans with the Invoke cards, and just in general. Still one of my favorite decks since Streets of New Capenna came out was my Arcane Bombardment Grixis version. It was such a good deck. To this day, still one of my best performers and funnest to play. I whip it up, you know, I grab it off of my own Ether Hub and play it when I'm feeling like having some fun. But yeah, I wouldn't make a single edit. I quite like it exactly just the way it is. You know, you could definitely change it and go completely different with these, you know, cards. Just maybe take out the Rowan, take out the other color invokes, put in some more mana fixing, maybe some seize the spoils or whatever and big score, and then just go the double the Galvanic, double the Jin, double the Invoke Despair. It's such a fun win, but it's been done before too many times on the channel, so I'm not going to attempt that one again. So yeah, that'll be it for tonight's gameplay footage. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord community, link in the video description. I will see you all tomorrow with some fresh brews, and until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.